As the concern around climate change grows, the House Natural Resources Committee met in Washington to discuss the impact on climate change in tribal communities. Let's send things over to Cronkite News reporter Micah Bledsoe in our Washington, D.C. bureau with more. Micah?
With the House now under Democratic control, the focus of committee hearings is starting to shift. For the House Natural Resources Committee, that means looking at climate change. And today it was looking at how climate change affects tribal lands. Verlin Jose, the vice chairman of the Tohono O'odham Nation, said many tribes just don't have the resources to respond.
The isolation, the road conditions, just we are not ready for climate change. We will survive. We will survive one way or another. However, it would be very important that we join forces to address climate change.
He was one of 3 tribal representatives testifying today. For his tribe, the effects are already being felt.
Some of the impacts that we had with flooding, and where 3 communities had to be removed, where a dam almost overcrested with water because we had received 8 inches of rain in less than 6 hours.
Democrats last week unveiled a sweeping Green New Plan that aims to ease climate change by aggressively shifting the U.S. toward renewable energy. But Nick Loris said the Green New Deal will not help, and it will particularly not help tribal areas, he believes.
If you are restricting energy use, and not letting tribal communities develop their resources, which oftentimes they want to do, I think you're depriving them of opportunities to actually make a better living for themselves and potentially protect against a changing climate.
Laura says it's clear man-made emissions are driving global warming and that tribal communities are vulnerable to its effects. The answer to that, he says, is complete tribal autonomy.
If you are not letting them develop their resources or not letting them prosper, they're not going to have the resources to protect themselves against a changing climate.
Jose says the Tohono O'odham are doing what they can, but they can't fight climate change alone.
It's not an Arizona thing, it's not a Washington, D.C. thing, it's not a U.S. thing, it's a world issue. And where is America when we come to address the challenges of climate change?
Jose is not the only one raising the alarm about the effects of climate change on tribal communities. In his State of Indian Nations address on Monday, National Congress of American Indians President Jefferson Keel said the Indian country is hit particularly hard. In Washington, Micah Bledsoe, Cronkite News.